Yeah, it just kind of sucks where you know what you're capable of, but again, little things in your body telling you to take some steps back. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's frustrating, but again, I know what I'm capable of, so you know, get those things taken care of. And I think now on, I think some things have to change as far as my training, just to make it to the fight in general. To be sharp, to be in shape, but to not tear down the body as much.
And you're still working with the same strength and conditioning coach that you were working with prior to
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yeah. Cool.
How hard was it for DC to pull out of this fight last week?
It's hard, yeah, but I mean, there's nothing you can do. We've all been in this situation before. Fighters always, when something happens like this where you have an injury, it's things where you can't even train the way you want to. I mean, you could barely even train. You know what I mean? You can be one dimensional in training, but again, you're not really using the part of your body that's hurt. So he's not kicking or anything else, and he can't really wrestle on it because if somebody grabs, if somebody would grab his leg, again, it would be hurt. So as far as us, when we get hurt, we're just optimistic. Hopefully, the next week, and hopefully it'll magically just disappear. You know what I mean? There's always that faith. You got to have that faith. You know what I mean? Hopefully, with the rest, with the week's kind of rest, it'll get better. But in this case, it doesn't. There are always really serious injuries where we can't really perform. I mean, we're like working out like 50% of the stuff that we need to work on. You know what I mean? And it just sucks in those situations, But you're trying to do everything you can just to make the fight, but again, it doesn't come that easy.
You said you're going to make some changes. What do those changes entail exactly?
I think sparring 3 times a week. I think for me, I don't think it is as beneficial. I would say as like guys that are first coming into the sport. You know, um, yeah. So I think cut it down to 2 days or maybe even one day. You know, um, as long as I'm in condition and I'm sharp, that's all I need. I've had the time in the ring. I've had the experience in practice, so that's all I need.
How hard is it to make changes because you were on top of the division for a very long time, so everything that you were doing was working better than anyone else. So you were the champion, and now people are saying, oh, you should make changes, and you have to be like, well, yeah, but what I'm doing already is what made
Yeah.
me the champ. So how
Yeah.
difficult is that to make those changes?
Just things change in your body. You know what I mean? With all the injuries and everything else that have happened, the most important thing is making the fight. Not just for me, but for the fans also. I don't want to be out. I want to be active. I want to fight. I mean, that's what I'm here for. You know, so this is my job, and I love to do it. So I want to do it.
You don't make money unless you fight, so it's a big deal.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah.
Cain, do you feel like, does AKA kind of get unfairly criticized for injuries? It's not like you're the only gym that have had injuries over the years.
Yeah, we're not the only ones. I think we do more than other gyms, definitely, but we're not the only ones. So
Is it just because you have more high-profile guys it gets more attention, do you think?
I would think so. Yeah, definitely. With me, DC, and Luke, I mean, we've all had our injuries, and we all train together. You know, and yeah, we do harder workouts that take a toll on your body, but definitely it benefits us for when we are healthy and for the fight. Yeah. So I mean, it's good and bad, I would say.
How
Yeah.
frustrating was it to have to pull out of the fight against Werdum a few months ago, and now you're not getting that revenge? You wanted that fight, you were so motivated for Werdum,
Yeah.
and now you're not getting that fight because of an injury. How frustrating?
Really frustrating, but again, there's nothing I could do. I was, again, in the situation that I was in, I was so bad where I couldn't really, I had to take breaks in between tying my shoe. That's how bad it was. And I was still working out, just boxing, and as long as I wasn't bending down or anything, I was semi-okay, So again, I was just optimistic. Okay, hopefully, this cortisone shot I took it'll help. And hopefully next week it'll be all good. It's from what the doctor's telling me, you know. You just take it day by day, and you know, you can't let the media know what's going on. Can't even tie his shoes. He's expecting to go out and fight. No, I can't. I'm not gonna tell you guys. You know what I mean? So, just waiting on the next week, and hopefully it all goes away. You know, we don't know. We're just hoping, but when it doesn't, it's like, okay, you know, I'm effed. So.
Did you know immediately that after pulling out that you wouldn't get a title shot right away again, or were you still hoping that you'd fight, you fight for it?
Yeah, I wasn't sure, but you know what? I understand. You know, I haven't been active in a while, and I get that. You know, so yeah.
But you know, obviously you have to go into fights a little bit hurt some of the time.
Yeah.
Have there been some though that in hindsight you wish you hadn't fought?
Yeah, with the first Junior Dos Santos fight, yeah, I was a little hurt. Where it was one of those situations where I couldn't do a lot of stuff. You know, I couldn't wrestle. I couldn't kick either. So I was pretty much boxing and pretty much staying in one spot. You know, I wasn't able to really move like side to side or anything else like that. So you know, you kind of fight the way you practice. You know, which is what I did.
And was it that there was so much buildup to that you just felt that you couldn't not show up? That was obviously
You
a big
just
deal, but-
yeah, it's a thing of like just learning. You know, learn from your mistakes. That was one thing that I learned from. You know, same thing with the altitude thing. You know, I learned more now. Hey, if it's something like that, it's no joke. You got to be out there. You know, you got to have your whole camp out there. You know, so again, it's a thing of you're just learning as you're going on. Yeah.
Is there a way you could articulate what that feels like? You know, we talk about the altitude and how it's so different. Like, I feel like it feels like you're breathing like thicker air. Do you know what I mean? Like, how did it affect you in the fight? Did you have an inner monologue going, oh my God, like this is...
So they're like you kind of get a misconnection from your mind to your body. I would say you don't really feel like the air, and you're not getting air. You kind of get to a point where your body isn't working, and your mind is like telling it to come on, let's, and it's not doing anything. You know. And you're just thinking to yourself like, holy shit, I'm tired.
Right.
Like, what the hell?
So so then was Fabricio, was it almost like a slow motion thing where you know, okay, here comes a knee and I should probably get out of the way, I just can't?
Yeah, I was like, hey, hit me again. Okay, try to move. No. Yeah, it's kind of like that. Again, learning process, you know, kind of learning the hard way, but hey, yeah, you learn.
Well, you seem to be like in decent humor about it. I feel like a lot of people would take that loss a lot harder.
It's been a long time ago, you know. All you can do is take, you know, from losses and everything else, you know, you just take the positive from it, you know. Okay, I know next time to be out there longer, you know. If I'm injured in a way where I can't fight the way I want to, even close, okay, then, you know, I feel like my pain tolerance is pretty high, so I can go through stuff with some pain, you know. But if it's that bad where I can't even do like simple stuff, then yeah, you know, I need to just think about things.
Well, and there was that added element of it being such a big fight in Mexico. Did that make it sting even more, or did it really matter where the fight could have taken place?
No, it definitely stung a little more. Definitely, yeah. For me, I mean, that was my whole dream to fight there, and I think I still have that opportunity to fight there again. You know, I would still love that. So, you know, it's not over yet. Yeah.
When we talk about the big fights, Madison Square Garden is coming up, and the other day we were on the show talking about who would we maybe want to see there, and the heavyweights are a great idea to put there because of, you know, historically the big boxing fights and things like that.
Yeah.
Is that on your radar to try to fight it in Madison Square Garden?
As far as anywhere in the U.S., no. I mean, I think I'd fight anywhere. You know, I think I love fighting in Vegas because it's super easy. I know the routine. I love that. You know, I love that about it. But as far as fighting anywhere new, like there, you know, I'd be fine with just even being there, you know, for the fight or not, just watch it on TV. So yeah.
So does 200 signify? Does it signify? Hi, thanks. Anything special to you?
Just returning back. Yeah, returning back to doing what I love, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Has anyone from the UFC told you that if you were to win this fight, you'll get that title shot back?
They haven't said anything. No, I'm just focused on this fight right now, and all that stuff just kind of it'll take care of itself afterwards, depending on whatever happens. But I'm just focused on this fight, which is Travis. He's a dangerous opponent, so I'm not taking this lightly at all. But yeah, just focus on this fight, going in there and just taking care of business.
Have you followed the goings on in the division?
Like what? Like watch fights?
Yeah, like Junior just Rothwell and all this,
Yeah, I mean, I don't watch the fights personally, but yeah, I kind of know. I know what's going on. Yeah.
You don't watch them?
I don't.
Not a fan? Not a fan of MMA?
Not really. You know what? Yeah, I mean, if teammates are fighting, definitely. I'll either watch them or I'll try to be there for sure. But fight fan per se, no, I'm not. I don't watch the fights at home if I'm there. I think I'm just around it too much. I'm around it every day, all day. I mean, I watch fights every day. And I'm in fights every day. So yeah. When I get home, I just watch other stuff and do other things. But
Dancing with the Stars and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
I watched a little bit of that. Yeah.
I'm curious. You're a guy that the UFC has asked you to do a lot of promotion over the years, not just as heavyweight champion, but also in Mexico, where you've probably gone there a million times.
Yeah.
The situation with Conor right now, where he didn't want to come in and do promotion last week, and he got pulled from the card. What's your opinion on that whole situation?
My opinion on that doesn't matter to me. It doesn't affect me in any way. If he's on the card, cool. If he's not, fine with that too. Yeah. I mean, I feel like we all do have obligations. To do this kind of stuff. I'm the guy that hates doing this.
Right.
I rather. When I first started fighting, I thought I was just training and fighting, and that was it. And then, okay, you got to do interviews. What? So, doing it now, I mean, yeah, I've gotten comfortable with doing it. I can do it pretty easily, I feel like. So I feel like it is part of the job. You got to do this and train and fight. So yeah.
So you kind of see why the UFC would say you can't do the promotion and you can't do the fight?
I would see that, yeah, and it's not fair to the other fighters. I would say also, but me personally, I don't care. If he came, if he didn't come, if he fights on the card, if he doesn't, I'm just happy to be back. That's it.
And could you also possibly see where he's coming from in that respect too, where he doesn't want to come and fly to Vegas and do a three city tour after losing his last fight?
I mean, I'm doing it. Everybody else is doing it.
Yeah.
So I mean, can I see his side? I mean, no, not really. I'm doing it. Everybody else is doing it. I mean, if he had to do way more than what we have to do, okay, then yes, I could definitely see that. Like, all right, but if he's not, if he's doing the same thing, then okay, no. I mean, we're all doing it, so yeah.
Have you ever had to do too much for the UFC where you're like, no, this is too much, I'm just doing too much PR, or is it they tell you to do it, you do it?
No, some stuff. I mean, it's a thing of. I guess it's all depends on what you can handle. Some people can do this kind of stuff all day. Some people can't. I understand that. You just talk to whoever's with you. The PR people from the UFC are great. We just talk to them. Hey, this is a little too much, or we for sure always get breaks in between as far as getting breakfast, getting lunch. Get some time just to. To rest as you're going to your next one, So you just try to get those little breaks in between, and I know people are different, so just having communication with the UFC people, to make sure that you're not getting overworked, because people are different, then yeah, that's okay.
Fair to say though, this isn't your favorite part of the job.
It's not. This is the worst part of the job.
So how hard is it to then have to spend the time with your opponent? Travis was saying you guys don't necessarily have real beef other than being an opponent. How difficult is it, and how much does it make you really even more excited, or to punch him in the face come July?
Yeah.
I'm building it up, dude.
Again, I think people are different, in that situation. There's some people that, if they would do this, like say, John and DC freaking hanging out and doing this, hell no, that'd be
No,
chaos.
I've seen it. You can't put them together.
It'd be chaos. Yeah, every time. Yeah, definitely. I think with me, I'm a little different, you know, and I think some of the guys that I fight definitely are, you know, more respectful. That's just how I am, you know, and you know, I'm not gonna tell you what I'm gonna do, and you know, talk, you know, about it. I'm gonna go out there and show you, you know, and I've proved to people that is me, you know, and I'm happy with that. But yeah, as far as doing this stuff, I mean, it's not my favorite at all. But you know, I think I've gotten used to it over time. So
Did you get interviewed by a clown?
yeah,
What was that?
Mexican clown.
Okay, what was that? I just saw
It's a
picture, I
show.
didn't see that.
It's like a late night kind of talk show, kind of like the Tonight Show
Okay.
type of thing. But with a lot of the Mexican shows, I mean, there are a lot of like little games in between, you know, just like on the Tonight Show again. You know, I'm using that as a reference point. But yeah, I mean, but I guess it's more of a comedic type of thing where everything is as far as you're seeing his point of view, but a point of view from like a clown, like a fun, like, you know. So it's like a little funny, goofy. Mexican shows got a lot of like live like variety shows, and this is that mixed in with talk show.
So it's Super Sabado Domingo and all that.
Yeah,
All
a
that
lot
stuff,
like
right?
a lot of music,
Yeah.
a lot of like funny like stupid games in between, a lot of jokes, and you know, interviews here and there. So.
Well, and I would imagine that's more fun for you. I'm curious how hard a sell it is for you when you go to places that are more mainstream, who don't really understand what you do. I mean, do you still get a lot of questions about what's jujitsu and that kind of thing? You know,
Yeah.
do you no? So people are coming around.
No, yeah, people come around. I haven't got any of those questions forever, you know. And yeah, when those questions pop up, definitely I'm like, what? Like, wait, what'd you say? Yeah. So no, everybody now is pretty much on the same page. You know, everybody's pretty familiar with, you know, the UFC in general and what's the sport about. So yeah.
Hey, what do you think about John Jones' performance?
I don't watch fights. I didn't see it. Sorry.
Even though you don't watch fights, you said you follow teammates. Do you still
Yeah.
follow Cain Velasquez teammates from the Ultimate Fighter, Latin America?
Some of them, yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, I mean, obviously, Jair had a ridiculous performance over the weekend. I mean, what is your feeling about a young guy like this who you coached, who's now coming into his own? And obviously, you've been given this task of really building Mexico for the UFC, but now there's this, 23-year-old guy who's coming through the system and
Yeah.
is maybe ready to, carry some of that burden or responsibility. What is your thought on him as a fighter, his growth, and then just obviously the position of more Mexican fighters?
Yeah. I just think it's awesome altogether, you know. As far as him, what he's doing right now in the sport, man, that's great, you know. I'm glad that he's doing good, you know. Just all the kids that are on the show. I mean, I call them kids, but they're not, you know. Just all of them on the show are great people, you know, just hungry to be there. I just had a blast doing it, you know. All the guys had great attitudes. That was awesome. So him to be doing good in the UFC and, you know, to be out there winning fights, I mean, that's great. You know, good for him. And he does that at a style that things can't even really practice, you know, let alone have him work at a fight, you know. Just interesting just to see him later on as he develops more as a fighter. I mean, he's going to be something else, definitely. So.
Cain, when you pulled out against Werdum this past time, New York City was put in, and then like the very next day, Werdum pulled out. What was your opinion on when you heard that Werdum pulled out basically like the day after?
My opinion, nothing. And you know what? I mean, I just thought, okay, he probably had an injury too. That was it, you know. Yeah.
How disappointed were you when you found out that fight was going to go ahead and get pushed through, and now you had to kind of fight your way back to the title shot?
Not disappointed. You know, I understand. You know, I've been out for a while. I get that. You know, there's no point in keep putting me in there. You know, if the people. I mean, that's not fair to the fans. You know, the fans deserve to see a fight, and I understand that. So I wasn't disappointed.
What do you do in the meantime? Some people, when they're hurt, talk to Dominic about it. Like, he was able to kind of go coach people, but that wasn't really where his heart is. So when you are sidelined, do you even go to the gym at all to help other people? Do you try to just avoid it and do something else that takes your mind off it?
Yeah, somewhat. Yeah, I'll go in every now and then, definitely. You know, I'll try to make it in there at least like twice or 3 times a week or so. But the most important thing was to hang out, with my family. Get closer to to my daughter. When I'm in training, she's young and she's in school. I don't get to see her often at all. I'll usually leave before she even gets up, to go lift, and then I come back, she's gone, and then by the time I'm home after my 12 o'clock practice, she gets home a little while after that, but then is right off to doing her other things, the stuff that she's in. So spend time with the family was a lot better. Yeah, get to actually get to know them a little more. Yeah.
I want to ask your opinion about something Demetrius told us the other day. We were talking about Chris versus Luke, and he was describing Luke as just a kind of a different level athlete, and was saying that he didn't think Chris could match him athletically. I'm just kind of curious your take. I mean, obviously, you come from wrestling as well, and you know how good Chris is, and obviously you've seen him work. But is Luke, a different kind of athlete? DJ was sort of talking about how he could translate from one sport to another,
Yeah.
great at this and great at that and great
No,
at this,
he's-
whereas some people can't do that.
He's good at everything. Usually pretty much. I mean, not as good as me like in other sports, but he's pretty good. He's pretty good. No, he just translates well to everything. His dad was a professional basketball player. His brother's a professional surfer. So he just comes from a family that are just really good athletes. So I just describe him like to people. As far as people before the Chris Weidman fight didn't really see Luke Rockhold. They've never really seen what he's capable of. Us in the gym knew what he could do, but he's never really shown it. And then in that fight, he finally did. So he's a guy in the gym, man. He's freaking hard to hit, like the hardest guy to hit in the gym. And he hits hard, he kicks hard, he has great jiu-jitsu, so he's just tough everywhere. So.
But you know what it's like. You've been in Weidman's shoes and that motivation of getting your title back from somebody who took it away from you. And Chris has talked about how focused he is on Luke now. I mean, do you see the second fight going any differently?
I mean, it could be tougher, definitely. That could be a possibility. But I just see Luke winning the fight. He has so many great tools that I don't see him losing. He really is that tough. Yeah.